The database is the engine room of the site. When the scores of all the instruments are updated each day, it tells you what significant developments happened that day and what you should be looking at and considering investing in. The database is where you can do some serious research on the thousands of securities we follow. It's grouped into three parts: questions for ETFs, questions for individual shares in the S&P 500, and finally questions for the cryptocurrency book if you're interested in cryptocurrencies, and I'm following them more and more just to see how they trade. Say you were interested in seeing which industry sector currently had the highest score. You would simply interrogate the right section, which would happen to be the first one. So show me the top 10 symbols within the US sectors with the highest current score on the daily or the weekly. Let's go for the daily. Press go and it will appear here. And here we are. It is ranked in order of score. All you have to do is press this button and it'll be downloaded for you in CSV format so you can see. So if we were to click on the CSV format, we would now see that the highest ticker is XLP, with a daily chart semaphore score of 3 and a weekly chart semaphore score of 54, followed by XLV, followed then by XLY, while at the bottom is XLF and XLB, which is the materials, while SPY has probably the overall worst score and is the worst overall benchmark, while every single other symbol is actually better than the overall benchmark. Or maybe you're interested in the securities with the strongest change in momentum, i.e. the highest score change on the day. Simply input the query in the appropriate section and press go. The appropriate section will be here. So let's go for 20 symbols within all books with a higher score increase today on the daily or the weekly charts. Let's go for the daily charts. Let's press go. And here we are. We can see that CPER, which is the copper one, had the highest, and so on and so on. The top 20 symbols with the highest score increase. The same is available for the S&P 500. And one very interesting feature of this is that you can rank it against the benchmark as well. So if you wanted to rank the top 25 shares in the daily section against symbols with the highest positive or negative score, let's go for the positive score. So let's look at the 25 individual shares in the S&P 500 with the most positive variance to the benchmark. We press go and here they appear. So Aon, BLL, CA are all performing best against the S&P 500. We can actually see that the ticker speedometer of CA is at 100 while the S&P itself is at -100. So this is a very, very interesting share to follow in the next days ahead. Or let's look at AON. We can see that AON has a score of +100 against the benchmark score of -100. This is a very, very interesting share to follow, and it'll be interesting for you to see the developments. It is very likely that this share is going to break the highs and trade much, much higher. You can see immediately how much information the database provides you each and every day it is wonderful to have a tool such as this as your fingertips. Not only can you argue with your broker with intelligent questions, you can do endless ranking, and you can do endless research on ETFs, individual shares and cryptocurrencies. And you have all the tools you need to absolutely make sure that your portfolio is at its best at all times. Since I do this on a daily basis for my own investments, I will put up in the member blog section up here the most important developments that I have spotted, so you can follow them with me.